Building confidence isn't something that happens overnight. It's a process. It's built brick by brick, step by step, experience by experience. Confidence is earned. It's the result of discipline, consistency, and learning to trust yourself. I'm telling you, confidence doesn't come from outside sources. It doesn't come from someone telling you that you're great or from a string of accomplishments. No, those things help. But real confidence comes from within. It's about developing the internal belief that no matter what happens, no matter the setbacks, you can rely on yourself to handle it. And I'm telling you, life will test you on that. It will ask, are you sure you can do this? Are you strong enough? And it's in those moments that your confidence will either rise or crumble. Now, I've spent many years studying human behavior, working with people who wanted to improve their lives, their businesses, their futures. And I'm telling you, one of the foundational pillars of success, whether in business or personal life, is confidence. The kind of confidence that isn't swayed by a bad day, a harsh word, or a failed attempt. The kind of confidence that stands tall no matter what. But how do we build this type of confidence? I'm going to share with you 5 rules I've learned over the years. I've learned these rules from my mentors, from experience, and from observing other extremely successful people. And trust me, it is an art, but it's also a science. There are things you can do, actions you can take to build long-lasting confidence. Not the kind that fades when things get tough, but the kind that grows stronger with each challenge. The first rule for building long-lasting confidence is to master the small disciplines. Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. Confidence doesn't come from doing something grand once in a while. It comes from doing the little things every day, consistently, until they become second nature. You see, it's easy to overlook the small things. But what happens when you start skipping those little things? You start to weaken your foundation. Think about it. If you make a promise to yourself, even a small one, and you don't keep it, you chip away at your own self-belief. You're telling yourself in subtle ways that you can't be trusted. And if you can't trust yourself, how can you be confident? Confidence is built on trust, on knowing that you'll do what you say you'll do, even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient. The reason this works is because you're training yourself to succeed. Every time you follow through on a small commitment, you're reinforcing the idea that you are someone who does what they say they will do. And over time, that builds a powerful foundation of trust. You're no longer relying on external validation to feel good about yourself. You've built it from within, brick by brick, day by day. But let me be clear. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect. You're going to slip up. You're going to have days where you don't meet your own standards. That's part of being human. But here's the key. When you slip up, get back on track as quickly as possible. Don't let one missed day turn into a missed week and then a missed month. The sooner you get back to your small disciplines, the less damage you'll do to your confidence. Let me ask you something. How often do you keep the promises you make to yourself? Not the big ones, like landing that job or buying that house, but the small ones. Do you follow through on your daily commitments? Because if you're not, that's where you need to start. Confidence isn't about taking giant leaps all the time. It's about taking consistent, small steps in the right direction. It's about mastering the fundamentals. I know a lot of people want to focus on the big picture, the end result. But the truth is, the big picture is made up of a lot of small details. If you neglect the small details, the big picture starts to fall apart. So if you want to build unshakable confidence, start with the small things. Make a promise to yourself today, something small and manageable, and keep it. Then do it again tomorrow and the next day. Over time, you'll see how much your confidence grows, simply because you've proven to yourself that you can be trusted. Every small discipline you master is like putting a coin in your confidence bank. At first, it may seem like you're not making much of a difference, but keep adding those coins. And one day, you'll look back and realize you've built a fortune of confidence. And that kind of confidence, the kind that's built slowly, steadily, with discipline, is the kind that lasts a lifetime. So, my friends, rule number one for building long-lasting confidence is simple. Master the small disciplines. Because if you can trust yourself with the small things, you'll be able to trust yourself with the big things when they come. Next, face your fears. Don't avoid them. Now, this one might make you a little uncomfortable, but I'm telling you, it's essential. Fear is one of the biggest confidence killers out there. It doesn't matter how much you achieve, how much you accomplish. If there's fear lingering in the background, it'll always find a way to erode your confidence. But here's the thing about fear. The more you avoid it, the stronger it gets. It starts to take up more space in your mind, and it controls your actions, your decisions. But when you face it, when you turn around and look it in the eye, you take back control. Confidence isn't the absence of fear. It's the mastery of it. It's about taking action in spite of fear. Because when you face your fears, you take away their power. You become stronger, more resilient, and your confidence grows. Every time you step into the arena of your fears, you come out a little braver, a little more sure of yourself. Now, I'm not saying you need to tackle your biggest fears all at once. Start small. The key is to get in the habit of facing your fears rather than running from them. Because here's the truth. Fear never goes away completely. It's always there, waiting for the right moment to creep back in. But the more you face it, the less control it has over you. Let me ask you something. What are you afraid of right now? What's the one thing you've been avoiding because it makes you uncomfortable? Maybe it's a difficult conversation you need to have, or a goal you've been putting off because you're afraid you won't succeed. Whatever it is, I challenge you to take a step toward it today. It doesn't have to be a giant leap, just a step. Because every step you take toward your fear is a step toward building unshakable confidence. You see, fear is an illusion. It feels real in the moment, but when you push through it, you realize it's just a barrier your mind has created. And once you break through that barrier, you're free. Free to take risks, free to fail, free to succeed. And that freedom, my friends, is the essence of confidence. I've seen so many people hold themselves back because of fear. They have the talent, the skills, the ability, but they let fear stop them from reaching their full potential. Don't let that be you. Don't let fear rob you of the life you could be living. The life of confidence, of purpose, of fulfillment. Remember this, The thing you fear the most is often the thing that will help you grow the most. It's not a coincidence. Fear is like a signpost pointing you toward the areas of your life that need the most work. So when you feel that fear creeping in, don't run from it. Use it as a guide. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? And then take action. Because confidence comes from action, not from avoiding what scares you. So if you want to build lasting confidence, don't shy away from fear. Don't let it dictate your choices. Face it head on. Challenge it. Push through it. And watch as your confidence grows with each victory, no matter how small. The more you face your fears, the less they control you, and the more control you have over your own life. That's rule number 2, my friends. Face your fears. Because confidence is born in the fire of fear. It's forged in those moments when you step up, despite the fear, and prove to yourself that you are stronger than you thought. Next, invest in self-education. Now, I can't stress this enough. Knowledge is power, but it's not just any knowledge that leads to confidence. It's knowledge that's applied, knowledge that's relevant to your goals, your dreams, and your challenges. The more you know, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the more confident you become in your ability to navigate through life, solve problems, and create opportunities. I've seen it time and time again. People who feel uncertain about their abilities, who lack confidence in a certain area of their lives, often do so because they don't feel equipped. They don't feel like they have the tools or the know-how to succeed. And that's where self-education comes in. Because here's the key. Formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. I wasn't born into wealth. I didn't have all the advantages some people think you need to succeed. But what I did have was the desire to learn. When I first got started in business, I didn't know much about how to sell, how to lead, how to build relationships. But I didn't let that stop me. I started reading books, attending seminars, seeking out mentors. I soaked up knowledge like a sponge. And every new piece of information I gained made me feel a little more confident. One of my greatest teachers, Mr. Schoaf, taught me the value of continuous learning. He said, you've got to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. I didn't fully understand that at first. I thought, well, if I work hard at my job, won't that be enough? But he explained that your job is only one part of your life. It can provide you with a living, sure. But if you want to live well, if you want to build lasting success and confidence, you've got to invest in yourself. You've got to become more valuable. And the way you become more valuable is through education, self-education. Now, self-education doesn't always mean formal schooling. In fact, most of the education that will truly change your life won't come from a classroom. It'll come from books, from experiences, from mentors, from the world around you. One of the best investments you can make is in your own personal library. Fill it with books that inspire you, that challenge you, that teach you something new. Read biographies of people who have succeeded in areas you want to grow in. Study philosophy, psychology, business, health, whatever is relevant to your life and your goals. And here's the thing, you don't have to read 100 books a year. Just start with one. One good book can change your entire perspective, and with it, your level of confidence. Let me give you an example. I remember reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That book had a profound impact on me. Not because it told me something I didn't already know deep down, but because it gave me the language, the structure to understand success and the mindset that creates it. It was like a light bulb went off. And every time I read something new, I felt more equipped, more capable, more confident in my ability to create the life I wanted. But it's not just about reading. It's about applying what you learn. You can fill your head with all kinds of great ideas, but if you don't put them into practice, they won't do you much good. That's why I always tell people, don't just learn, do. Take what you've learned and use it. If you're learning about leadership, start leading. If you're learning about sales, start selling. If you're learning about health, start making healthier choices. It's in the doing that real confidence is built. Because once you see the results of your knowledge in action, your belief in yourself skyrockets. And another thing about self-education, it never stops. Confidence comes from growth, and growth is a lifelong process. You'll never reach a point where you know everything there is to know, and that's a good thing. Because the moment you stop learning, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, your confidence starts to stagnate. So if you want to keep building confidence throughout your life, commit to being a lifelong learner. Stay curious. Stay open to new ideas, new perspectives. The world is always changing, and the more you adapt and grow, the more confident you'll become in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Start small. The key is to start. Don't let the perfect plan get in the way of taking the first step. Ask yourself, when was the last time you invested in your own education? I'm not talking about a degree or a certificate. I'm talking about learning something new, something that could help you grow as a person, as a professional, as a leader. If it's been a while, I challenge you to make a commitment today. Whatever it is, take action. Because every new piece of knowledge you gain is another tool in your confidence toolbox. Here's the bottom line. Knowledge breeds confidence. When you know more, you can do more. And when you can do more, you feel more confident in your ability to succeed. So, invest in yourself. Invest in your mind, your skills, your abilities. That investment will pay dividends for the rest of your life, not just in terms of success, but in terms of the unshakable confidence that comes from knowing you are always growing, always improving, always learning. Remember this, the more you learn, the more you earn. Not just in money, but in confidence, in opportunity, in fulfillment. So if you want to build long-lasting confidence, make self-education a priority. Because the person who keeps learning is the person who keeps growing. And the person who keeps growing is the person who's confident enough to handle whatever life throws their way. Next, surround yourself with the right people. Who you spend your time with has a profound impact on your confidence. If you want to build and maintain strong, lasting confidence, you need to be very intentional about the company you keep. The people around you are either lifting you up or pulling you down. They're either filling you with doubt and negativity, or they're supporting you. There's no in between. So the question is, who's in your circle? Who are you spending your time with? Because If you're surrounded by people who are constantly putting you down, criticizing your dreams, or doubting your potential, I guarantee your confidence will suffer. Here's what I want you to understand. Confidence is contagious, just like doubt is contagious. If you're surrounded by people who believe in you, who push you to be better, who encourage you to take risks and go after your dreams, that energy will rub off on you. You'll start to believe in yourself more because you've got people in your corner who believe in you. But if you're surrounded by people who are negative, who complain, who focus on everything that's wrong instead of what's possible, that negativity will infect you. It'll seep into your thoughts, and before you know it, you'll start doubting yourself, even if you don't realize why. I've seen this happen so many times. Tell me, who's in your circle right now? Are they lifting you up, or are they dragging you down? Do they believe in you, or do they make you question your abilities? These are tough questions, but they're important ones. Because if you want to build real, lasting confidence, you need to surround yourself with the right people. People who push you to be your best, who believe in your potential, who won't let you settle for anything less than you're capable of. Now, that doesn't mean you have to cut ties with everyone who doesn't share your vision. I'm not saying you need to walk away from family or friends just because they're not as driven as you are. But you do need to be mindful of how much time and energy you're giving to people who don't support your growth. And you need to make sure you're intentionally seeking out relationships with people who inspire you, who challenge you, and who help you become the person you want to be. You see, success and confidence are team sports. Nobody does it alone. We all need a support system, a group of people who push us forward when we start to slow down, who pick us up when we fall, and who remind us of our potential when we start to doubt ourselves. That's why one of the greatest investments you can make in your confidence is in your relationships. Find mentors who have walked the path you want to walk. Surround yourself with friends who have big dreams, who aren't afraid to take risks, who are committed to their own personal growth. Because when you're around people like that, you can't help but grow too. And here's another thing. It's not just about who you spend your time with. It's about the quality of those relationships. Are you having deep, meaningful conversations with the people around you? Or are you just talking about the weather? Are your interactions uplifting and motivating? Or are they draining and discouraging? Quality matters just as much as quantity when it comes to relationships that build confidence. One of the things I've learned is that confidence is built in community. When you're part of a group of like-minded people, people who share your values, your goals, and your commitment to growth, you become stronger. You start to believe in yourself more because you see the people around you believing in themselves. It creates a positive cycle. Their confidence boosts your confidence, and your confidence boosts theirs. So, here's my advice to you. Take a good, hard look at your relationships. Are you surrounded by people who believe in your potential? If not, it's time to make some changes. Start seeking out new relationships, new mentors, new communities where confidence is the norm, not the exception. Remember, confidence isn't built in isolation. It's built in the company of people who see the best in you, even when you can't see it in yourself. So surround yourself with the right people and watch how your confidence grows as a result. Next, failure as part of the process. Now, this might seem counterintuitive at first. Failure and confidence don't seem like they go together, do they? Most people think confidence comes from success, from getting things right, from winning. But here's what's important. Real confidence isn't built from avoiding failure. It's built from understanding that failure is a necessary part of the journey to success. The more comfortable you get with failure, the more confident you'll become. And I get it. I hear it all the time. Failure hurts. It's embarrassing. It knocks me down. And you're right, failure isn't fun. But here's what you have to remember. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the same path. Everyone who has ever succeeded at anything has failed many, many times. The difference between people who build lasting confidence and those who don't is how they respond to failure. Mr. Shoaff said, failure is simply a few errors in judgment repeated every day. But success is the opposite. It's a few simple disciplines practiced every day. The key is to learn from those errors and keep moving forward. That was a game changer for me. I realized that failure wasn't a dead end. It was feedback. It was telling me where I needed to improve, where I needed to adjust, where I needed to grow. And the more I embraced that mindset, the more confident I became in my ability to succeed. Because here's the thing. When you're no longer afraid of failing, when you understand that failure is just part of the process, it stops holding you back. You start to take more risks, try more things, and as a result, you grow more confident. Ask yourself, how do you react when you fail? Do you beat yourself up? Do you start doubting your abilities? Do you let it stop you from trying again? Because if that's the case, it's time to change your relationship with failure. Instead of seeing it as a reflection of your abilities, start seeing it as a tool for learning and growth. Every time you fail, you're learning something valuable about yourself, about the process, about what works and what doesn't. And that learning is what leads to success. Imagine you're learning to ride a bike. Now, nobody gets on a bike for the first time and rides perfectly. What happens? You wobble, you fall, you scrape your knees. But does that mean you can't ever ride a bike? Of course not. You get back on, a little wiser, a little more aware of how to balance, how to steer, how to move forward. And eventually, after enough practice and enough falls, you're riding confidently. The same is true in life. Every time you fall, you're learning. And every time you get back up, your confidence grows. And here's something to consider. The fear of failure is often worse than the failure itself. How many times have you avoided doing something because you were afraid it wouldn't work out? Maybe you didn't apply for that job because you didn't think you'd get it. Maybe you didn't ask that person out because you feared rejection. Or maybe you didn't pursue a dream because you were afraid of falling short. But here's the truth. In avoiding failure, you're also avoiding success. You're playing small, staying in your comfort zone. And that's no way to build confidence. So, if you want to be more confident, you have to get comfortable with the idea of failing. Not just comfortable, embrace it. See it as a badge of honor. Because every failure means you're trying, you're learning, you're growing. And the more you fail, the closer you get to success. Now, I want to be clear. This doesn't mean you should go out and fail on purpose. What I'm saying is that when failure happens, and it will, you need to see it as part of the process, not the end of the road. You need to extract the lesson make adjustments, and keep moving forward. Every time you do that, you build resilience. And resilience is one of the key ingredients of lasting confidence. Ask yourself, what's something you failed at recently? How did you respond? Did you let it knock you down for too long? Or did you use it as an opportunity to learn and improve? If you haven't embraced your failures yet, now's the time. Start seeing them as stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. Because here's the truth. The only real failure is the failure to learn from your mistakes. Success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Isn't that a beautiful way to look at it? Because it's not the failure that defines you. It's how you respond to it. It's your willingness to keep going, to keep trying, to keep believing in yourself, even when things don't go as planned. That's where confidence comes from. Not from getting it right every time, but from knowing that no matter how many times you get it wrong, you'll keep moving forward. So if you want to build lasting confidence, stop fearing failure. Embrace it. Learn from it. Use it as a tool for growth. Because the more you fail and keep going, the more confident you become in your ability to succeed. And that, my friends, is how real, unshakable confidence is built. Remember this, failure isn't fatal and it isn't final. It's just part of the journey. The only way to truly fail is to give up. So as long as you're learning and moving forward, you're on the path to success. And with every step, your confidence will grow stronger. So, building long-lasting confidence isn't about a one-time effort. It's not something you achieve and then forget about. No, it's a lifelong journey, one that requires constant attention, growth, and discipline. But the good news is by following these 5 rules, you can build a foundation of confidence that will stand the test of time, no matter what life throws at you. But remember, confidence is built over time, through action, through learning, and through resilience. It's not about never failing, never doubting, or never feeling fear. It's about how you respond to those moments. It's about what you do next. Confidence comes from knowing that you can rely on yourself, that you have the tools, the mindset, and the support system to handle whatever comes your way. Take these 5 rules and start applying them in your life today. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about making progress. Every step you take in the direction of growth, no matter how small, is a step toward building that long-lasting confidence you're looking for. Trust yourself, stay disciplined, and keep moving forward. The more you do, the more confident you'll become, and the more you'll be able to create the life you want.